Good evening, friends. Welcome to Bollywood Talent Club's live on air. It's 11:16 p.m. New York time on a Thursday evening, June 22nd, 2023. Those we have with us Preeti Arya. We'll be discussing general mental health and what's how much we understand as a common person. Let me bring up Preeti Arya in a second to you now. All right. Hi, Preeti. How are you? You're on air.
Hello, Uncle. How are you doing?
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Dosto. We
Thanks
have
for inviting me.
no problem. All right, Dosto, we're going to have simple questions with Preeti, and we'll talk very in general. All right. So, as such, Preeti, talk about a little bit about yourself as far as the interest in mental health that you wanted to say a few words about that. Please go ahead.
Sure. This is a very crucial topic. Unfortunately, in the Indian community, we don't like to discuss about it. I feel like it is time that we as Indians should not feel that mental health challenges or disease is a taboo. We should be open about it and talk about it, discuss and help each other, and also explore as many resources as possible. Mental health challenges can start at a younger age or at any age in fact. कभी भी शुरू हो सकता है,
Mm-hmm.
किसी को भी हो सकता है, जरूरी नहीं है कि वो हेरिडिटरी हो। अ,
Ach-
कभी भी हो सकता है, किसी इवेंट, किसी एपिसोड, कोई ट्रॉमा की वजह से भी हो सकता है। सो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि फैमिली में किसी को है तो बच्चे को भी होगा।
अच्छा,
पर अगर किसी को कोई शॉक लगा है, कोई ट्रॉमा है, तो हो सकता है।
yeah, yeah. Okay. The question is now, you think uh, peer pressure also can trigger these situations, Preeti?
Yes,
स्कूल जा रहे हैं
definitely.
बच्चे.
In fact, um, teenage depression is very common, and peer pressure is one of the crucial,
Oh, okay.
one of the important, significant factors that has been identified. Due to peer pressure, kids can act very differently. Their behavior changes. They suffer from anxiety, um, and those things are what we should be watching for in any child. And fortunately, American school system is very equipped
Uh-huh.
with such kind of information and identifying students suffering from any kind of mental health challenges,
G.
anxiety being the topmost
I see.
challenges that people of any age group are facing these days.
Uh-huh. I see. But the question I'm trying to put up here is at what age we should start looking at those kind of signs for a child going to school?
That's a very good question. Although I'm not an expert, but I do have my own experiences. I teach, so I do come across
Mm-hmm.
students. I have a teenage child myself,
G.
and I love to interact with the kids of all age groups as I like to serve my
Mm-hmm.
community.
Mm-hmm.
So, parents should be aware right from the beginning. The most important thing is parents should be open minded. A child can be diagnosed with any kind of disease, starting from basic flu to, unfortunately, cancer also exists in the society, and even mental health challenges. Sometimes it can be due to birth defect, and sometimes it can be due to the environment that the child is experiencing at home or maybe at school.
Okay. But any telltale signs, what do you look for child coming depressed or coming talking too excited about things or trying to have attention AD, those kind of you can diagnose as a parent?
We cannot diagnose as a parent, but the parents are the first line of doctor
Right, true.
for any child in his or her life. So, but if a child's behavior was what we call or consider as normal, and suddenly it has changed to
Correct.
being very secluded, being very quiet, or maybe talking way too much, or being very hyper, or lack of focus, or lack of attention,
G.
or becoming very negative, or mood swings, or
Wow.
anger bouts. These are the behavior, like Fever is an indication of a disease in the body, of an infection. Similarly, behavior or change in the behavior is an indication, or these are the red flags for mental health challenges or issues in any individual of any age.
Or at any age, we can really see that signs. I see.
Yes,
That's very
yes.
interesting. All right. So, as far as the child is concerned, when it comes from school, so these are the signs you have to look for: excited, or talking too much, or complaining, or shouting, or yelling. That's kind of I mean, the kids having fights in school in classes that also can trigger this kind of a mental situation.
So once in a while, it's normal. If it's like once in a blue moon, that's fine. And sometimes it's hormone, especially for teenage kids. But if it's a repeated observation, then I think so. It is always advisable that parents should go and see a psychologist, and if needed, a psychiatrist. A psychologist is someone who will give therapy to an individual who requires counseling. A psychiatrist is a medical doctor who will do the diagnosis of the disease.
Right.
Psychologist cannot do the diagnosis, but the psychiatrist does the diagnosis, and they may prescribe medication if need be. Otherwise, they can just ask for therapy. They may ask for change of environment.
G.
It's between the doctor and the parents there.
G. Now, as far as the diet's concerned, Riti, does have any influence on the child's behavior?
What's concerned? I'm sorry.
The
Can you
diet, the
repeat that?
food that kids eat at young
Diet.
age.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Uncle Ji. Yes, too much fried fruit, food,
Wow.
too
Acha.
much processed food,
Okay.
food with a lot of preservatives, a lot of very extreme pH values like your sodas,
Ah,
Pepsis, and colas. These can really impact because it makes you very lethargic, more and more sedentary. And the minute you start becoming sedentary, it really impacts your function in the brain or the brain activity. And it can be a slow trigger or a slow process. So, yes.
Great. My next question, Preeti, is the government, the federal government, the state government know these things, right? These can trigger. So, there's any regulation and the kind of food the kids should have in school or at home, and that kind of, and that can you throw some light on that?
Yes, I can, but I'm just trying to think, how can I be politically correct?
Okay, okay.
During President Obama's tenure, the First Lady Michelle Obama was
Geez.
very proactive, and she had very clear instructions that the food that was served or would be served in schools will be less processed, less fatty, less fries, less pizza, more fruits and veggies were incorporated. She, being a very, very highly educated person, knew about the pros and cons of the kind of and the quality of the food and the kind of food that we eat and the kids should eat and how it can impact
Gee, gee,
their body functions and also their brain functions.
gee.
So that was that was a very good move, I would say. And personally, um, how open are you to listening to me, my political view? Uncle, can you
True,
handle that?
true, 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 true. Now, my question is, Michelle Obama has done it. Has the Congress passed any rule or any kind of a law saying that this is the way it's going to be throughout the country, or it just
It's personal choice. You cannot force anybody. But the thing is, let me tell you something. The cola companies run a lot of political
oh,
campaigns.
okay,
So similarly, petroleum, pharmaceuticals, they run campaigns. So how can you take that away from the system? Because they are the money pumping organizations.
true.
Okay. But as an from the administrative office, if they suggest that this is good, this is not good, it is finally the choice of the parent to pick and choose what's the best for their child. Sometimes, yes, we have advertisements, we have banners, and you will see during the campaign, you will see all kinds of banners which are bad for health and the environment. But it's the bitter truth. They are money giants. They pump in a lot of money. So, but it's up to the parents to decide what's good for their child's health.
Right. But
So,
as far as the school system is concerned, the school lunch is concerned, don't you think the government has some role to play in the child's health, trying to enforce certain? I can understand at home parents are responsible. In school, the school system and the city or state or federal, they're getting grants for that.
yeah, they do. But this is unfortunately, I cannot comment on that
G, G.
because it depends upon county to county. It depends upon administration to
Okay,
administration.
okay, I got you.
So it can be it depends upon the from government governor to governor it may change. So one state may be serving or one county may be serving very good food where there is a lot of awareness, like the area that I live in.
G.
The school system, the board of education, they are very prompt, very active. They are proactive about everything. They sit on every meeting, they check the menu, they decide what the kitchen should provide for the children, what options they should have. So there are all kinds of healthy and unhealthy options there.
Okay.
This is because the parents are aware and they can sit on the board meetings and they can choose and decide. It depends upon how active the community is, or actively involved the community is with the school system.
As parents, Preeti, what would be the first sign where the parents get alarmed that we have to see a medical doctor for this condition for my child? So, is there any particular time frame when the child starts the symptoms? Sometimes they automatically they themselves get over it. So there's got to be some.
Um, a lot of times, if the child had a fairly nice, stable, normal childhood, things go very good, smoothly, especially when the child is a teenager. But when things were not normal, when there were issues of domestic violence in any household, or uh, children who come from a lower income group and their community doesn't have a very good support system,
Gee.
they may have some, they may be carrying some trauma, they may be carrying some concerns in their mind, subconscious mind. So by the time they are teenagers, due to whatever reason, due to health issues in the family, or due to unsafe environment or community that they are living in, by the time they become teenagers, they start showing issues, and they may not be like normal teenagers. Yes, their hormones are going up and down, but they could be showing a lot of mood swings. They could be getting angry very easily, or they might be slamming doors and blaming way too much, and they are not able to carry on a conversation with their parents without getting emotionally unstable. So if they start crying before they can even start talking, these are some of the signs that parents should actually pay attention to and see a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or they can even talk to the child's pediatrician. For the annual checkup each year, the pediatricians make the child fill the form. The child is supposed to fill a form like how are they feeling? Are they feeling happy? They fill a form regarding the emotions of the that particular child. I feel parents should not interfere when a child is filling that form
Uh,
during their annual checkup,
right?
no matter what age they are at.
Oh, any age. Okay, okay, that's the question. Now, is there any gender preference, girls, boys, or it's across the board?
Well, after the pandemic, I would say it's across the board.
Okay, okay.
But mostly girls tend to show more emotional stability than boys. That's how the makeup is. Again, I'm no expert, but this is what I have read, so I'm communicating that. Um, I feel these days, however, we cannot we cannot segregate the two genders or the three genders.
Okay.
It is individual
All
based.
right. These conditions can also manifest at an age older than 60, 70 years. I mean, when you're old, is possible. I mean,
Oh, it's very much possible. Actually, that time the tendency is very higher, and that's why the doctor, when the geriatric people, when they go for health checkups, their primary care physicians will always tell them, meet with people, go out for lunches and dinners, talk to others, meet with as many people. The reason being is you interact, you forget your own issues, you don't ponder too much, you don't think about your issues too much, and you don't get like absorbed by it. So after 50, the chances are way higher than for younger. But the younger generation is dealing with a different issue, and that is technology. It has its merits and demerits. So, but older generation, it is life in general. People start to have health issues. Their friend circles starts reducing, so those can impact a person's psyche, and that's normal. But to avoid that, it's always important that we interact physically, meet with people, greet like we did today. I mean, it was such a great thing that we did. Thank you so much.
no, anytime, anytime. And my question, next one, Preeti, is this: uh, being single parent, being couple parents. I mean, does it make any difference in the child's psychology?
Well, Uncle, that's a wonderful question. Yes, it does. Some kids, by birth, they have some issues, like if a child is autistic or any
Oh,
other mental health challenges, those can be congenital. So the primary care doctor, the pediatrician, would notice, and that's why they interact. They have a style of talking and interacting with the parent and the child in such a way that they can figure out. But as the child gets older, and if he or she is seeing a healthy relationship between the mom and dad, then things are good. The child will be mentally, emotionally a strong individual till the time the child starts seeing issues between parents. This can happen at any age. Uh, Even adults cannot handle parents' divorce. It can have a very negative impact on a child's psychology. That's why a lot of parents try not to get divorced just to protect the child, which is good. As long as they are civil to each other, that's good. The problem is staying in a very bad marriage. That can be more dangerous than being single parents and the child gets to meet both the parents individually but separately.
okay. Now, this is today we're talking about is mental health, right? Mental health can also affect children as far as adults as well and senior people as well. For adults, Preeti, what is the trigger? The ego plays a part to have the friction, and then from there it develops into some kind of a cascading effect.
Cascading effect, that's a wonderful phrase, and that's the right phrase also. Yes, it starts with what we call in simple terms ego. Yes, you're right, Uncle. Sometimes when we are in our prime and when we are in our early 20s or 30s and we are like ambitious and trying to make a difference in the professional world, And then we have competitors, and sometimes our ego can get hurt. If we don't take it in the right manner, if we don't take it in our stride and move on, if we linger on to those, what I can say, negative moments for more than we should, then we have invited so called depression in our lives. It's a very sneaky disease. We don't even come to know that it has, we are suffering from it. Mostly, you will see that people get agitated. They have
Mm.
stopped interacting or talking. They are more to themselves. They are not handling humor or personal jokes very well. These are the red flags. And yes,
Another
this,
question: when we meet among the friends circle, Preeti, right? As a common person, can we diagnose people whom we interact and like friends or we meet for a party? So they carry that baggage also into the social gathering as well of the frustration and depression or what are mental
yes.
issues?
Yes, thank you for asking this question. Actually, a lot of times we try to cut ties with our friends who no longer add value to our lives in the sense with the same motivation or happy attitude or positive attitude. We start seeing them as burdens, but what we and you could see some sort of negativity has consumed them,
Okay.
and that's something, is a sign saying beware, this person might be getting engulfed by depression. So yes, we can see those signs and symptoms, and instead of cutting them loose, it's good that if we talk to them, if we show compassion to them, and we say, hey, I see that you are,
A changed person.
yes, a changed person. Is everything okay? Is there any way I can help you in some, I mean, with something or the other?
Great.
Yeah.
But
So,
as a casual friendship, we really is it okay for us to talk about it, or it should be so intimate to the person so they feel very comfortable to open up to whatever they go through?
yeah, that's again another wonderful question. Yes, people get offended. And if people have a tendency or already showing signs of depression, they will get offended way easily than someone who is more emotionally stable. So, yes, it's very slippery grounds there. But a polite hint, if they are your friends and if you think they are your friends, they should be able to handle maybe a polite hint from you, or you can hint their kids if they are adults, or something like, next time if you want to go for a physical exam, do you think you I can drive you? I mean, a suggestion like this. And or you can even do, like, you can say, hey, I have started to feel very agitated these days. I'm snapping at people, I'm behaving this way. What do you think I should do? Do you think I'm suffering from depression or anxiety? So if you talk that way, that person may, and I'm not saying will, may think that, you know what, I'm also behaving this way. Does that mean I have some sort of depression? So this is also another approach. Again, I'm no expert. I am just giving you
Correct,
ideas.
correct. He's talking common. Yes, yes, it's very important, I guess. Now, is there any safety valve, a safety period where we let it go for a child and then suddenly it says, no, this is cut-off date. We have to take some action towards this attitude of the child?
Uh, I have seen some of my family members suffer from depression very closely. So I have read a lot of literature on this. Again, I'm not a medical doctor, no, not a psychiatrist, but reading literature actually enhances your knowledge. So I feel like if a parent or a friend or a companion or a partner can be open minded and um, they don't label or judge the person. Rather, they think that, okay, you know what, I think I should take the child or the friend or the companion or a partner or a friend to a doctor or advise or suggest. They should not feel embarrassed or hesitant, because let me tell you something, this is my observation and also what I have read. If your mental health is good, you may have physical issues like diabetes or health or heart issues or any nerve issue, you will still come out of it, you will still recover. But if you have mental health issues, something as basic as occasional anxiety, which may have a snowball effect and may turn into like an everyday anxiety, it can impact the first thing it will impact probably would be your gut. Then it may impact your nerves, it may impact your gallbladder, it may impact your liver, it may impact your vision, anything, kidneys, anything. People say diabetes is bad for health. I personally feel mental health issues are equally bad. It's just that now, yes, in a country like US, people are opening up more, doctors are being more verbal and they are trying to spread awareness, and that's what you and I are also trying to do. But it can be more deadly, I feel, than diabetes itself. So, taking to the doctor, even if you have a slightest doubt, is a good thing. If you feel like the husband is behaving weird, oh, ये पहले तो ऐसे नहीं थे, अब देखो इनका स्वभाव कैसा हो गया है. Take him to the doctor now because he is suffering. So,
Silent frustration.
yes.
Yeah, I understand that part. I wanted to ask you one more question. Is there anybody as human population is untouched by mental issues? Everybody does have a degree, maybe varying, right?
That's again a wonderful question because your questions are amazing. So, अब मैं थोड़ा सा स्पिरिचुअलिटी की तरफ जाती हूँ, ठीक है?
जी.
All religion typically try to teach us to have a disciplined life, to have good morality, good values in life, be good to yourself and be good to others. Do you know why? I mean, I did a lot of introspection, reading, understanding. I feel this keeps you calm and also very collected and humble. If you're calm, collected, and humble, it is very easy for you to deal with negative emotions on a day to day basis. And if you have the strength and the tools to deal with negative emotions on a day to day basis, it could be on the train, it could be on the bus, it could be with your own children, it could be with between husband and wife, it could be with your boss or subordinate or anybody, okay?
Any
Your own
stranger? Strangers
yes,
to, yeah, okay.
stranger. So if you are, but see how people, sometimes people say, I'm a God fearing person. I will not hurt the other person's emotions or feelings, so I will step back. But what that person actually did saved himself or herself, or maybe a trigger for anxiety, or also maybe a foundation block for future depression. So the more we give into negative emotions like anger or toxicity or jealousy or bitterness, we are laying a strong foundation for depression or even worry. So that's where religion, I personally feel, plays a very important role. Unfortunately, these days, a lot of people may not practice it, which is fine, but as long as they are spiritual, and you will see the sadhus or the saints, what they do, they try to detach themselves from the materialistic pleasure because it causes a lot of emotional and mental stress.
Yeah,
So,
but they desert their families and go away. The family is suffering. They're going on a spiritual path without caring. I mean, it's the negative effect on the family, right? They don't realize about responsibility they have for towards the family, to the parents, towards the children, right? You can renounce everything and be a spiritual person.
I personally feel you can renounce just negative emotions and still be a spiritual person as long as you are open minded, adapt yourself with time and situations. You don't discriminate. For you, every human being is like your own soul. You want to treat everyone as your own family, as your own. That is spirituality. You don't have to renounce anything and move to the Himalayas or
Right,
no.
right, right, right.
That is one approach, though. And I feel it's their way. They should not be blamed. That's just my thinking.
Thinking, I understand, but what I'm saying is if they have a family and they just let it go, and just because I want to be away, go to Himalayas, means they're shredding their responsibility towards the family and child, right? That's not right either. Selfishness comes
But
in there, right?
if Gautam Buddha would have thought that way, we won't have Buddhism, which is the most peace spreading religion. I mean, it's what I personally feel. It's a very simplified form of Hinduism. Um, but Hinduism, I see it as a science rather than a religion. But then that's again me. And Buddhism, again, I find it a very resolved, simplified version of Hinduism. Keeps you very grounded, humble, very much aware of your surroundings and in time.
But but sometimes you're too good and too humble, other people take advantage of it, right? So we have to be defending ourselves as well.
We don't have to defend ourselves. We just have to be assertive. These are skills that, if being humble is a trait that we have learned and we can learn, which is a very difficult trait to learn. Uh, People start with um, being assertive or being
Aggressive.
rude or aggressive because those are easy to learn, okay, and adopt. To be humble and kind and compassionate, it takes a lot of self control, practice, awareness to develop these traits within yourselves as part of your personality. So, that person has already tasted these traits of aggression and being, dominating or whatever you want to say. So, that person can balance, trust me.
As a general talk, I'm just trying to a common sense approach. I mean, you have trained I have trained myself to be a very cool, calm, composed guy, right? I'm going in a trainer. Suddenly, a guy comes in and says, puts a knife on your head, says, "Give me everything out." So, in that situation, either you do or die. I mean, like common sense. I mean, like fight or flight. I mean, those kind of situation comes there where you have to take some action. The guy is aggressive already. He's going to do any drastic action which you don't care. So where do we stand as a good guy when the bad guy takes over you? So should we say, okay, kill me, it's okay, take my money. So how do you handle that situation? I'm saying. So to talk is very easy. In real life में प्रीति होता है ना. So then I was kind of shocked. Once I finished my patients, I was walking out. So three guys came in. I was trying to sit in the car. They pulled the door. Don't close, don't close. I dropped my money there. All right. So then I said, I just pushed the car door out and came out because I thought they're going to have some kind of carjacking. So then suddenly three guys came. They have the gun there in their hand. And at 6:30, sun was down right at that time, kind of January, I think. I was so scared. What am I going to do? So I don't know what happened. I said, "What do you want, sir?" For a guy who doesn't not even I would say, high school graduate. I'm trying to address him a little politely. So I'm going to, search his pocket. Three guys came putting my hands here, putting their hands there. So I was trembling. So I did not, and the neighbors, some standbys were there, but few feet away. They never came to help me. So I don't know what happened. They took the money out and then put the thing, dropped, and then went away. Thank God, I'm saying. So I don't know, in that situation, what would I have done if I had been an aggressive person myself? Because I was a passive. I just took it, go, okay, sir. What are you looking for? I don't have nothing here, sir. I'm addressing as a sir. The guy's trying to mug me. I'm saying as a sir. They don't give a damn about that I'm saying. So in that situation, what would I have done differently? So what my what do you call that? My mind said, my brain said, I just did that way. So it triggered me in the right place or it triggered me in the wrong place.
अंकल जी,
You know what I'm saying?
आप बहुत शांत इंसान हैं, बहुत सुलझे हुए हैं, इसीलिए आपने बहुत शांति से उनको हैंडल कर लिया, and probably that's the reason you're still alive. I'm sorry, but we live in US and anybody can have a gun and
Correct.
anyone can shoot you
Yes, 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 yes,
at
yes.
any place. Okay.
Mm,
So because you were calm, although yes, your nerves gave up on you, you were calm. You did not yell, scream, get agitated, or try to argue with them because there's no point. They're already not stable.
correct.
How do you argue with an unstable person? They
Mm,
are children. First of all, they're children, teenagers, okay, very unstable background or whatever their background is, or
yeah.
they just wanted to prove something to somebody,
Macho
flex
man.
muscles.
Yeah.
So it can be any reason, or peer pressure, or maybe poverty. I don't know. Whatever the situation was for them, they were very agitated and not calm. Okay, if they were calm, they would use their wisdom. They were not calm, they could not use their wisdom. They chose an illegal act upon a legal act. Okay, say they came to rob you, you gave them the money, fine, you saved your life by being calm.
Yeah, but
By becoming aggressive and trying to get to their level, you probably might have gotten killed.
correct. But sometimes they take the money and kill you too because they don't want no witnesses. It can work
If
either way.
See, unless and until you know how to tackle two or one man physically, staying calm, I feel, is the best option. That's my personal opinion. Because I cannot tackle, especially if the person is a teenager,
Correct.
has a
A
bigger
strongest.
body. I
Yes.
cannot tackle them, okay? I cannot pin them down. I cannot take them.
True, true, true,
So
true.
I would, and after that, if I'm getting shot, well, if I would have been aggressive, I would have gotten shot
Either way,
anyway.
yeah, depends upon
Either
their
way,
mental attitude. Yeah, which way.
yes.
All right. So thank you very much, Preeti, for having talked. Now coming back to a little change of subject. I mean, you said you have interest in music and you have interest in your profession about the textile engineering. So hopefully we'll talk more about that as we go down. All right. So can you
Sure,
just
definitely.
hum the other side of your little tune, your melodious voice, some old number? That'll be interesting.
Melodious. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I feel every Indian is a singer.
Of course.
Good or bad, doesn't matter. Every Indian is a singer.
Okay.
हर हिंदुस्तानी अपने घर में गाता या गुनगुनाता तो है ही,
Singing is your
ठीक
right.
है? चाहे वो अच्छा गाए, बुरा गाए, that's a
That's what I'm
different
singing
thing.
is singing is your birthright.
Exactly. Singing is our birthright. हम दिल खोल के गाते, कहीं भी गाते.
जैसा भी गाओ
मंदिर
लेकिन गाओ.
मंदिर मंदिर होता है तो भजन गा लेते हैं, और बाहर होता है तो हम
Bollywood songs.
मोहम्मद रफी, लता, आशा, सब गा लेते हैं.
Okay,
तो
hum a tune. Okay, I say without music or vocal surf. Dosto, let's listen to Preeti, her melodious voice. She's into singing also. I mean, so let's listen to a short, a minute or two, a little. Okay, couple of lines if you want to. Go ahead, Preeti, please.
तुम्हें हो ना हो, तुम्हें हो ना हो, मुझको तो इतना यकीन है, मुझे प्यार तुमसे नहीं है, नहीं है मुझे प्यार तुमसे नहीं है, नहीं है. तुम्हें हो ना हो, मुझको तो इतना यकीन है.
Wow.
भाई रूना लैला जी.
Oh, this one. Acha, acha, acha. And also, you were talking about your dad. He's a very good singer, right? Throw some light
Yes.
on that as well. Go ahead, please, Preeti.
I'm sorry, what?
You're talking about your dad also. He loves Mukesh numbers. I
Yes,
mean,
my dad sings, when he was working, with the Steel Authority of India Limited. They had an engineers orchestra group, and my dad was their lead singer.
wow. Okay.
So yes, they're very talented engineers. People who
Oh,
could
very
play
nice.
different
Yeah.
instruments. It was so wonderful. And as a kid who
we can
was in
call them
school,
musical engineers, right?
they were musical engineers. Yes, that
True,
was,
true, true.
yes, that's so true.
Very
I'll
nice.
go in.
So when would you like to bring your dad on air? So maybe we can all world can listen to him on broadcast, Yeah.
One of these days
Not these
soon,
days.
for
Okay.
sure.
So anything else before we close? So you want to throw some light on what experience you had today?
आपने मुझसे तो गवा लिया, आप दो पंक्तियां सुना दें.
सुना दे अब तो अभी ब्रॉडकास्ट खत्म किया मैं सिंह 3 गाने गा के लाइव
3 गाने गा के. अच्छा, ठीक
ब्रॉडकास्ट
है.
हो गया है तो आप सेकंड ब्रॉडकास्ट
ब्रॉडकास्ट
आपका
हो गया. ओके, ऑलराइट.
सेकंड ब्रॉडकास्ट आपका है
Okay, okay, no problem. So
you
next
can
time.
listen to that link I sent you
Okay,
on
I will.
YouTube में बॉलीवुड टैलेंट क्लब डालोगे तो आ जाएगा अभी जो हुआ 1 घंटा पहले you can listen to that. So next time I'm going to set you up for music system के साथ तो you'll enjoy much more better.
I will enjoy, but I want the audience to enjoy too. मैं गाऊंगी तो भाग जाएंगे सब.
नहीं ये बात आ रहा कोई भागेगा नहीं एटलीस्ट मैं तो नहीं भागूंगा
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much, Uncle G.
Thank you, Ji. So hopefully we'll be in touch, okay? Thank you so much, okay?
Sure.
All right, one
All
second,
right. Take care.
one second, okay? दोस्तों अभी आपने सुना प्रीति, not प्रीति जिंता, प्रीति आर्या, giving us a short talk on mental health. Very well spoken discussion on this, very well talked, and so hopefully we'll bring her more on this kind of discussions. Till that time, dosto, have a very pleasant time. Good night, Shubhratri, and stay safe, dosto. All right, okay, here goes.